Now, you may have noticed that the reading from the Gospel this morning is the identical one that we had on Sunday. So you may be familiar with that particular reading from the Gospel. And so what can we say about it this morning that we didn't say about it on Sunday? Well, if you put it into context, because we got to somehow or other fill in the missing line, so to speak, of what is not said, because here we just have got just a brief synopsis of what was said. So using our own imagination, most of you will have at one time or the other or another been at a baptism. And it's a very joyous occasion, and you invite along the family and friends. And so we kind of can presume that Mary and Joseph, when they went up to present Jesus, quite possibly some of their family were there too, their extended family and their cousins. And as often happens at a baptism, the people at the baptism, they like to take the little baby and hold him or her, and then, they go, and how lovely this little child is, and who does he look like? And they begin to say, I think he looks like his dad, or he looks like his mum. And in this case, Joseph must have been wondering, well, do they really know what they're talking about? And then Simeon, we're told, this very holy man who spent a lot of time in the temple, took him in his arms. And then he said to Mary and Joseph, this child is destined for the fall and the rise of many in Israel, and he will be a source of contradiction. So poor Mary and Joseph must have gone home wondering, and you can easily imagine Mary saying to Joseph, or Joseph to Mary, what do you think Simeon or that man meant? And they would have been puzzled and not understood. But as you know, the words of Simeon were very true, because Jesus did become very much a sign of contradiction. How do we say that, or what do we mean by that? Well, he came very much to change our outlook and our attitude to life, and the attitude of people of his time. And people are very reluctant to change. And the more he tried to do that, the more he was condemned or rejected. And so he did, in every sense of the word, become a sign of contradiction. And if you today, and I today, if we truly follow Jesus, we'll very, very often find ourselves not accepted, and very often maybe rejected for our views. And we won't always and at all times fit in with the present culture of what most people are doing at the moment, or how they live. And so in some ways that's our calling, to be in this world as Christians, a sign of contradiction, being, in doing so, pointing out to people that there's a different way of living, and a much better way of living, if we truly live as Christians. It's the way of love, the way of care, the way of acceptance in many ways, our own faults and our own failings. realizing that we are human, but that's what God wants us to be, totally human. And to be a witness to joy in the world. Because very often there's so much sadness around us as there is at the present moment. So if we are true followers of Jesus, we need to be glad that we are blessed, that we don't have the coronavirus, that we have food. And if we have those things, we really are blessed at the moment. And so we need to be grateful and thankful and show it in our way of life.